Now, the Russian invasion of Ukraine loomed large over the G20 finance ministers meeting in Washington, exposing deep divisions between the largest economies in the world. The United States, Britain and Canada staged a coordinated walkout at the G20 meeting held on Wednesday in protest over Russia's actions. Representatives from the three countries left the session as Russian delegates spoke at the meeting. This is the first meeting of finance ministers and the central bank governors of the world's most developed countries since the war began, and comes at a time when the world is facing global economic challenges like rising debt and possible food crisis. Indonesian Prime Minister, who chaired the meeting, acknowledged the body faced unprecedented challenges but called over cooperation to overcome roadblocks to global growth. Also said that the walkout was done without disruption.
Well, this is interesting. All members see the G20 is a very important forum, a premier economic cooperation forum for us to discuss both in terms of the risks as well as how we should coordinate and collaborate together. I think that is something which is really very strongly expressed during the meeting. So I'm confident that this will not erode the cooperation as well as the role of the G20 forum.
Now, sources say that the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told participants that there could be no business as usual for Russia in the global economy. British Finance Minister Rishi Sunak tweeted his condemnation of Russia and said that Britain will push for stronger international coordination to punish Moscow. Russian Finance Minister Anton Silyanov, who attended the meeting virtually, called the participating countries to avoid politicizing the dialogue and stressed that the G20 had always been and remains primarily an economic format. The meeting took place on the sidelines of the World Bank and IMF spring meetings in Washington. Before the G20 meeting, IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva said that the global cooperation must continue since there was multiple issues that no country could solve on its own.
Our immediate hope must be for the war to end. That would have the single most positive effect on the global recovery right now. In the meanwhile, we must do everything we can to help Ukraine and other heavily affected countries.
The meetings in Washington were focused on how to help the global economy recover from the shocks of the first the pandemic, and now the Russian invasion. The war in particular has driven prices of food and fuel higher and caused the IMF to lower its global growth outlook to 3.6 for this year. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.